know where it is. Larry took off running, and the Felcos are in the truck. But anyhow, you like 1-year-old wood that's nice and straight. Yeah, there you go. Monty has it. We collected that a few minutes ago off the trees. Anybody here have their Felco with them? You know. Oh, Monty's gonna go get his. Anyhow, you collect this up in the top of the tree, and thank you, Bill Reed. Bill is a good man.
Yeah.
And we're so lucky to have him. He doesn't even know how good he is. He is the best of the best. And he helps Dr. McEachern a whole lot. So we have a graft stick here. The size can go anywhere from the size of a pencil up to the size of a ballpoint pen. Now, if you're collecting patch buds, they can be even bigger. They can be the size of a nickel. But we want them perfectly straight, and we want them 1-year-old wood. Now, if you have to have some kind of real exotic variety that's just been released from the USDA, and you have only 2 trees and there's some 2-year wood, you can use 2-year wood, but it's best, if you have a choice, it's best to have 1-year wood that's perfectly straight. Now there's all kind of sayings.
You're not in great shape.
That's all right. We'll make them work. Came with the wrong thing. All right, here is our graft. Our graft stick is going to be about 6 inches long. So we take the apex end off, and then we come down here and that's called a graft stick. Now, sometimes you can buy graft wood, which is 2 sticks. And they'll sell you a stick that's like 14 inches long, and that way you're guaranteed to get 2 good sticks out of it when you buy it. You immediately put it in a poly bag and put it with a little piece of wet paper towel. Now, I had a young lady working for me about 20 years ago. Her name was Sarah Benedict, and she was an outstanding student worker, and she was great, and we were collecting pecan graft wood. And I said, now, Sarah, we got to squeeze the paper towel that goes in the bag until it's dry. And she said, yes, sir, and her little hand was not strong enough. And she squeezed it as much as she could squeeze it. But when we put the graft wood in the bag and we put it in the cooler for 3 months before we grafted, when we took it out, they were all molded because there was too much water. And there are some people, Lloyd Shreve was a member of the Me Use No Water Club. He put the graft wood in the poly bag with no water at all. And he said, if it's in a cooler, it's not a big deal. I like to put 1 paper towel in each bag. Now, I squeeze all the water out. Then when I get it totally dry, I throw it on the floor. And I take my foot and I squeeze the rest of the water out. And I pick up the paper towel and I flop it. And then I put it on the graft wood, and I put it in the bag and I seal it. Now, you have to also put the name of the wood. Like this is Nocona. You need to put Nocona on the wood bag also. And I had a Sharpie and a piece of what are these? Index card. I had a small index card, and you write Nocona. And you also have to put the year. You have to put 2018. Because my wife would come in the house and she'd say, George Ray, when you going to get that stuff out of the refrigerator in the garage? I said, what are you doing? She said, the pecan graft wood. It's been in there forever. I said, oh no, it's this year's wood. So she says, really? It has 2011 written on it, and so it turns out that I'd had that graft, and the good is only good for 1 year. So you need to put the date, because invariably you'll get it mixed up with this year's wood, with last year's wood, and so forth. I don't know how much they charge now. Womack's Nursery used to sell graft wood. There's a man in Oklahoma that sells graft wood. And at one time it was, 50 cents a stick, and then it was $1 a stick, and then it's $2 a stick. I don't know. Anybody know the current price on?
Over in Chandler, they sell that stuff, I believe.
Yeah, Chandler will sell it to you.
I think it's like $7 for a bundle of 10.
Yeah, you get 10 for $7, so that's a pretty good price if it's really good wood.
They
So,
glue those in too.
so that's the system we use of collecting it and cutting it and putting it in the bag. Anybody have a question on any of the stuff I covered? Because I'm fixing to stop talking.
Uh-oh.
Yes, sir.
How do you tell the 1-year-old wood and the 2-year-old wood?
Oh, it's nice and slick with these little bitty pimples all over it. And then when it gets to be 2-year, I don't have any 2-year wood to show you, but it's rough. And there'll be a little bitty line, a little scar tissue between the 1-year-old and the 2-year-old.
No buds, no buds.
They can have buds, so the buds can
food.
food.
Primary buds, but there'll be secondary buds.
There'll be secondaries for sure, and then sometimes there'll be a primary if they hadn't gotten knocked off.
Why the top of the tree?
They're straight and healthy. They're usually always straighter in the top. And we have a cherry picker that goes up there, and we've also got a tall pole pruner to collect it.
There's a difference in the color of the bark.
Yeah, it's a little difference in color. You gotta make sure, you're always worrying about cut yourself. And I want to talk about this thing right here. This thing is called a Felco number 2. Write that down. Felco. It costs $57, and it's handmade in Switzerland out of solid aluminum. And it's airplane grade aluminum, not beer can grade aluminum.
Not Bud Light.
It's good stuff, and it's the Best Buy. And if you ever anybody ever wants to know what you want for your birthday, you tell them you want a Felco number 2. Now there's a bunch of other Felcos, but they're all junk except number 2. And it's the most copied pruning shear in the world. So everybody, there's a ton of them that are $8 and $14, but I have 3 pair that I bought in 1969, and I'm still using them. The problem is you will lose them or people will steal them.
Walk off with them.
They don't steal them on purpose. It's just by accident, and they accidentally never return them. So that's a good gift that you can have. Dr. Stein is going to talk to us about the 4-flap graft. And Dr. Stein, the first flock we grafted, Dr. Stein helped us on that graft. We had a contest. Oh, and by the way, we tried to get Tommy Thompson and L.J. Grauke to have a contest. USDA versus Texas A&M. We're grafting 14 acres. We need to do Tom Sawyer and get some people over here to graft for free. The USDA refused to enter the contest.
Uh-oh.
They were too busy. Yeah.
So you mentioned storing them in a poly bag. Is that the same thing as a plastic bag?
No, plastic bag is no good. White, black, all those bags are no good. And every year I do the Neil Sperry show on Super Bowl Sunday. On Super Bowl Sunday, tune me in. And Dr. Stein and Monty, they tune me in to call me and tell me all the answers I get wrong on the radio for the whole world.
Not nice.
And then your kids call you. and tell you all kind of horrible stuff on the
Not
deal. Well,
nice.
last year I had a lady or a man called Dr. McEachern. I'm collecting pecan graft wood. I want to know what kind of bag. Can plastic bags, tall kitchen bags, they're white. Do the work? I said they're no good. You can't use plastic bags. You got to use poly bags. So she says, I don't know what a poly bag is. I says, well, it's the kind that you can't see through clear. They're kind of milky colored. And she says, I don't understand that. And I said, do you get a bread bag? And she says, what is a bread bag? I said, it's the bag that bread comes. Oh yeah, I get the bread bag. And so here we are. And Neil did not like this. He tried to be super technical and stuff. And he says, I can't believe you recommended a bread bag on the radio. So anyway, you know what a bread bag is? It's soft and it has a milky texture. It breathes. The oxygen goes in and out on a poly bag. It does not on a plastic bag.
The Ziploc bag's not good either.
The Ziploc is poly. Yeah, Ziploc works. Anything that's not shiny clear.
Or white or black.
Usually a poly bag will give.
There you go.
Like when you stick your thumb in here, the bag gives.
Oh no.
There goes your dinner.
No, it's still in there. So I only ate half of my
Trying to throw it
steak.
out.
It's okay.
I only ate half of my steak. Do you think I'm saving this for me tomorrow, or am I taking this home to my wife?
To your
Oh, well, anyhow. So, am I through until 4:30 or 4 o'clock?
Yeah, but we're gonna be early, so don't be late.
Oh.
We'll be early.
Well, anyhow, I have already I printed the calendar. Everybody gets a copy.
Right.
Woo.
All right, it's been good. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right. You've already heard all you need to know about grafting. I mean, so